Hey everyone, another issue with my car involves a rattling sound from the brake pads. This happens when driving and hitting bumps or potholes. You can hear a rattling or jingling noise coming from under the wheels. One of the reasons for this sound could be a problem related to the brake pads. Most often, it occurs because this caliper spring loses its elasticity, causing the brake pads to start rattling. And when you hit a bump, the pads rattle and produce a ringing sound. It's very easy to check. Just press the brake pedal when you hear the rattling, and if the sound stops because the caliper presses the brake pads, then the problem lies in this unit. Another issue could be due to wear on the caliper bracket or brake pads. But the main thing is that you will know exactly where the fault lies. Now let's remove the wheel and check if the brake pads are loose or not. And while we're at it, let's replace the springs. To fix this kind of problem, we'll need to install a new caliper spring. I bought 2 of them, and we'll install one on each side. Here's what this spring looks like. It's because of this little detail that the brake pads might make noise. So, I've removed the wheel and can now inspect the brake pad's spring. If you look closely, you can see that the pads are slightly loose. See, they're just loose, but thanks to the caliper spring, the pads will be pressed against the bracket. As you can see, my pads have some play and knock against the bracket. And imagine the noise it'll make when driving over bumps. So, if you hear any rattling in the wheel, maybe it's because of this spring. Replacing the spring is simple. We just need the right tool to remove it. I've removed the spring and look how the pad wiggles without it and still wiggles. Now I'm taking the new spring. Visually, there's no difference between the springs, but let's put it in place and see how the pads move. Honestly, putting the spring back was tricky because I had to stretch it with both hands to fit into the holes. I've installed the new spring and look how snugly the brake pads sit now. So the caliper has pressed the pads against the bracket and the play in the brake pads is gone. So if you happen to hear any noise when driving over bumps, don't rush to change the suspension. Instead, pay attention to the brake pads. That's all for now. See you soon.